Hello YouTube, this is an introduction video to my new channel, Manuel Oil Paints. My name is Manuel Rodriguez, and I'm just going to introduce myself as I'm working on this painting that I already started. I mean, it doesn't look anywhere near done because it's the underpainting, but I'm painting here Cantinflas. He's a famous Mexican actor that I really like. I grew up watching his movies. And yeah, I'm in the process right now of adding value to the canvas, right? With a single tone. I'm using raw umber with mineral spirits. So as I do this, it's the first YouTube video I actually filmed. So bear with me here. And yeah, I'm just going to paint here while I talk a little bit about why I'm doing this. And yeah, so I am actually a musician. I'm a guitar player. I teach guitar and play guitar, and I play often with my wife in Wisconsin. We live in Milwaukee, and she's a violinist, so we often play in different places, right? But also I studied art, and this is something not a lot of people, well, now they know, but when I was doing my undergraduate studies in music, I also studied art, right? And I really fell in love with painting. I studied art at University of Texas A&M University. So I started painting again during the pandemic, and I've been going at it for a while, and I'm currently taking an online course with great painter from Egypt. His name is Rafat Maximos, and he teaches and paints in El Paso, Texas. So I've known him for a few years now, and I really enjoy his style of teaching, his technique. So I recently paid a visit to him in Texas, and he invited me to join this online course on painting portrait paintings. So I have a few paintings here on my wall. I have paintings around my place. So this is just the one I recently started. So just to talk about this, the process that I'm using for those of you who are here to learn something, or maybe you already know, you can suggest something as well. But I got a gallery wrap canvas, which is the thick type of canvas, and I bought this at Bleak Art Supply, and it came already primed with gesso, but I gave it an extra coat of gesso. In fact, I had never done that. Like, I usually just buy a canvas that is already primed, and then I just start to paint. But for this instance, I decided to add an extra coat of gesso, and this is the gesso that I got. Utrecht professional gesso. So I gave it an extra coat of gesso to cover up the pores of the canvas, and then after that, once it dried, I sanded it down with a sand block that I have here. In case you're wondering, I use this little block, medium to soft to fine grit, and I just went through the canvas to get rid of the texture that the gesso leaves once it dries. And once I did that, then I gave it an additional coat of acrylic, titanium white acrylic paint, and yeah, I did that last night, and today uh, I also cut my reference right in black and white. And today in the morning I woke up around 7 to draw the image, right? Just to draw the image of, his name is Mario Moreno, this actor. He died in 1993. He was a great Mexican actor. And yeah, he's also known as Cantinflas. Cantinflas. And I really enjoyed watching his movies when I was growing up. I used to watch, my favorite one was called Por Mis Pistolas, which is like by my guns. And he's like a Mexican pharmacist that goes in the search of a mine in the United States and meets the Apaches, which are the Native Americans of Sonora and Arizona. So yeah, I used to, there's a lot of movies, but that was one of my favorite. I used to watch it with my grandpa all the time. And so for this course, I recently painted this lady right here. And yeah, this is 2 sessions of painting work. And now we are starting this course is called From Realism to Expressionism. So we're covering different styles of painting. Right now we're more on the realism stage. And yeah, he asked us, the teacher, to choose whatever reference we like. So I chose Mario Moreno because I just always wanted to draw him, right? So here we are, and this morning I used a pencil to draw his face and the proportions, and now with a raw umber I am going around creating value, which means darkening, creating a contrast between dark and light, right? This is not the technique that I usually use, but obviously I'm learning, and that brings me to what I wanted to talk about, which is why I created this channel. This is my first video, Manuel Oil Paints. And the main purpose of this channel is to track my progress painting and to show people who are interested in painting what I do, and maybe for someone less advanced than me or just more advanced can learn something new, just like I usually do. I go on YouTube and I look at videos of people painting to learn from them, and I learn things from beginners and advanced painters both. So this is for educational purposes and also for feedback. So like if you're watching and you have a lot of experience painting, or you have an opinion, a comment, a suggestion, any sort of feedback, then that is more than welcome here. The point is to grow as a painter and, you know, enjoy the process, track the process. So yeah, I will be doing this eventually. Hopefully once I get more subscribers, I'll start to do live streams of what I'm doing. My friends, a lot of my musician friends didn't know that I paint. I've been painting, I started painting in 2016, and yeah, I liked it a lot. I've done some sculpture, I've done some with metal, I've done some live drawing with charcoal, I've done, I've taken a few courses in different art subjects like history and design, but in the end, what I liked the most was painting. I was introduced to painting by a great painter that teaches at A&M. Her name is Felice House, and she was the first person to show me the world of painting with oil, right? I've done acrylic painting and oil painting, but I like oil more because it takes longer to dry. By the way, as I paint and talk, I didn't realize how tricky it is to talk and paint at the same time. Usually I put music that, I'll put some, it's usually different music every time. I put some, I'll listen sometimes to like classical music, like symphonies by Brahms or Beethoven, or I'll listen to like some jazz and put on some Miles Davis, or other times I just like to listen to pop music. So I vary it a lot when I paint. It's a great way to listen to music and not just sit there while listening. And some musicians might say that you have to sit and very carefully analyze what you're listening to, and I do that sometimes, but when I paint, I just enjoy, since I sit down for sometimes 3-5 hours. I've been doing this for a couple of hours or an hour right now, and so I'm just going to record a little more. But yeah, there's nothing better than sitting down and just painting and listening to music. It's a good way to pass the time for me outside of practicing and teaching guitar. And yeah, this is something that has come back into my life, and I've been doing it consistently for some time, so I don't plan to stop anytime soon. I really enjoy doing it. So what I'm doing might look a little slow, but usually I start by toning the canvas first. I put a thin layer of raw umber with mineral spirits, but for this approach we went directly from a white canvas to the values, to adding the values without toning the canvas. So personally, I don't like this approach that much so far, because I like to see the canvas completely toned before I start painting. I didn't know this about myself, so I've been discovering what I like and what I don't like, but I think that is part of the process, right, of learning how to paint. So you just have to do it many times and learn each time something new from what your experience is, from what you're doing. So yeah, I'm going to be developing this painting with a single color for some time until it looks more contrasting. So slightly, right now I'm using light values, but as I go, I'm trying to darken more and more the darks, the very dark places, like here, for example. I have to add more dark. Right now I'm holding my pencil or my brush like I would hold a charcoal, a stick of charcoal, because it's a very early stage to be, usually hold it like this for more details, right, like here. So I switch back and forth. I'm not a professional, I'm not an expert in painting. I have some experience, but yeah, I'm here just learning. So if you were watching this video, please drop a comment. Tell me if you paint, or what brought you to my video, and what you think. Say hello, and I just want to see your presence, right? I want to see who's watching. I want to know who's watching. So it would be nice if you can tell me where you're watching from, or introduce yourself. And yeah, I'll be uploading here and there. I'll be uploading videos of myself painting, right? And talking, just having a good time. So yeah, and I usually spend a lot of this time in pure silence or listening to music. So yeah, this is a slow process, but it is what it is, and I know that experts can do things faster, right? But yep, I enjoy my time. I do not rush my process. I just paint. I don't worry too much about making a mistake, although sometimes I feel like I catch my arm being a little stiff, and that's part of learning, right? To loosen up the arm. So yeah, there we go. So you can also look at my music. I have a business called Fine Music, and we have a few videos there playing. If you're curious, you can check it out on YouTube. Fine Music. But this channel is going to be mostly about painting, nothing else, just painting. So right now I'm using a kind of a small brush. It's a little bit small, but that's what the professor was telling me to use. Not too big, not too small. This is a square brush. Before I used to use a filbert brush for painting in general, but when I started to use the square brushes, I fell in love with the square brush. So this has become my main brush that I use. Different sizes, but square. So this reference picture, I found it on the internet, and the only thing that I don't like too much is that most of the face is in light. I was trying to find a picture in color, so this original is like that, right? But the quality is not the best, so that is going to be a little tough to look into the detail deeply. But I've always wanted to paint this portrait in particular, so that's why I chose it, and I'm just going to do my best with that. I know it looks funny from the video, and I always try to remember that the painting is going to look funny throughout. And eventually, near the end, or as you go, it just gets better and better. So it took me some time to be comfortable with that idea that a painting is not going to look great in the beginning. So it feels like the progress is a little slow, so maybe I might get a little bit more paint, less solvent, and start making more bold moves without getting too dark. I don't want to get too dark because then it makes it more complicated. So it's funny because sometimes I can complete a painting very quickly and everything goes smooth from the beginning. Other times paintings feel very slow, and it just depends on, I guess each time is a different experience, and it's similar to playing music, right? When we play music, sometimes we play great and everything is easy and falls into place. Other times it doesn't go as good as we want it to, right? So that's one similarity that I found in painting and playing music, playing guitar. So, yeah. Anyway, I really enjoy to compare the similarities between painting and playing. A lot of similarities. So a big one that they share is patience. Patience and dedication. It requires a lot of patience. So this part in the eye here looks dark. I watched a lot of videos by Helen Van Wyck. I think that's how you say her name, Helen Van Wyck. And I like them. There's a lot of good information to learn there. I haven't seen all of them. I keep finding new ones, but they all contain something nice, some good advice. Obviously, everyone that is interested in painting in the beginning has watched Bob Ross. Maybe that's what got you into painting in the first place. I don't know. I always liked Bob Ross, and I still do, but I used to watch him and not paint. I didn't get into painting until I actually tried it myself in this class when I was doing my undergrad at Texas A&M in College Station, Texas. By the way, if you are an Aggie, leave a comment. I know Aggies are they're spread out all over the world, and there's always one nearby. So yeah, so I'm just going to continue working on this painting, and I'll show you my progress. Next time I'm using here just one color. That's what I have so far. Looks cartoonish, looks kind of funny, but that's okay. I'll be fixing it as I go and enjoying the process. So yes, my name is Manuel, and I'll be uploading more videos soon. Until next time, bye bye.